Jai Guru Datta, Sri Guru Datta. Jai Guru Datta, Sri Guru Datta. Jai Guru Datta, Sri Guru Datta. Jai Guru Datta, Sri Guru Datta.
Shri Ganeshaya Namaha, Shri Saraswatyai Namaha, Shri Padavallabha Narasimha Saraswati, Shri Guru Dattatreya Namaha, Shri Ganapati Satchidananda Sadgurubhyo Namo Namaha. Jai Guru Datta and welcome to Datta Arpanam with your hosts Rishi Nirvan Baru
and Ravita Singh. Jai Guru Datta, Swagatam, and thank you for tuning in to Datta Arpanam, a showcase of the life, music and teachings of His Holiness Parama Pujya Dr. Shri 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 Ganapati Satchidananda Swamiji of Avadhuta Dattapitam in Mysuru. Today's program begins with the offering of pranams, gratitude and this invocation prayer at the sacred feet of beloved Sadgurudeva Pujya Shri Swamiji, as this show, possible only through His divine grace, is offered to him. Please join Pujya Shri Bala Swamiji now in worship.
Shri Ganeshaya Namaha, Shri Saraswatyai Namaha, Shri Padavallabha Narasimha Saraswati, Shri Guru Dattatreya Namaha, Shri Ganapati Satchidananda Sadgurubhyo Namaha. Gurur Brahma, Gurur Vishnu, Gururdevo Maheshwarah, Guru Sakshat Param Brahma, Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Shri Bhuyuta Shri Hari Chinnhitabhyam Agastya Rekhadibhiranchitabhyam Nigodha Bijakshara Mudritabhyam Namo Namas Sadguru Padukabhyam. Ganapati Gurumekam Satchidanandarupam Vibhudharivahasevyam Yogamargadhirudham Sharanamupagatanaamarti Sanghadrivajram Mama Hridaya Nivasam Bhaktinamro Namami, Bhaktinamro Namami.
Once again, everyone, Swagatam, and thank you for tuning in to this morning's edition of Datta Arpanam. Today's program is being brought to you through the kind courtesy of Velini's Drug Mart Limited of 58 to 60 Sutton Street, San Fernando, Debe Supermart Limited of 182 SS Erin Road, Debe, Coquier Supermart Limited of 14 Naparima Road, San Fernando, and Samtron Insurance Brokers Limited of 1126 SS Erin Road, Debe, and 225 Southern Main Road, Warrenville, Cunupia.
Over the past few weeks, through the grace of Pujya Shri Swamiji and his mother and guru, Mata Jayalakshmi, The Dwadasha Sutras have formed the basis for contemplation here on Datta Arpanam. Those Dwadasha Sutras are 12 instructions which were given to Sri Swamiji by Jayalakshmi Mata. These form the tenets by which she instructed that he should live his life. Pujya Sri Swamiji, by implicitly following these instructions and by sharing them with us, is passing on these teachings to us so that our own lives can be and should be governed by these Dwadasha Sutras.
So far in this series, the first 4 sutras have been studied. These sutras were: see me in all women, be compassionate to the poor and socio-economically disadvantaged persons. In all situations, think and act according to the Shastras, and protect the pious and virtuous even at the cost of your life.
Today, as we get ready to look at the 5th Sutra, heartfelt gratitude is extended to Pujya Appaji and Mata Jayalakshmi for providing the means and the opportunity to share with you the continuation of this journey into the Dwadasha Sutras. Special thanks also go out to Indian devotee Meera Datta for graciously sharing her contemplations on the Dwadasha Sutras of Mata Jayalakshmi.
On last week's contemplation of the 4th sutra of protect the pious and virtuous even at the cost of your life, we saw how that sutra was reflected perfectly in Sri Hanuman Charitra. Well, the 5th sutra also has direct ties to our scriptures. How and what is this sutra? Well, stay tuned to Datta Arpanam to find out the answers to these questions. First though, the blessings of the remover of obstacles and the granter of knowledge are sought, as worship is offered to Lord Ganapati. Please open the Bhajanmala app or visit the website www.bhajanmala.com, enter Bhajan ID number 9 and join in singing today's first bhajan.
Gam Ganapati, Gam Ganapati, Gam Ganapataye Namaha. Gam Ganapati, Gam Ganapati, Gam Ganapataye Namaha. Gam Ganapati, Gam Ganapati, Gam Ganapataye Namaha. Gam Ganapati, Gam Ganapati, Gam Ganapataye Namaha.
Gam Ganapati, Gam Ganapati, Gam Ganapataye Namaha.
Gam Ganapati, Gam Ganapati, Gam Ganapataye Namaha.
Gam Ganapati, Gam Ganapati, Gam Ganapataye Namaha. एकदन्ताय वक्रतुण्डाय श्रीगणेशाय नमः. एकदन्ताय वक्रतुण्डाय श्रीगणेशाय नमः.
मोदहस्ताय रक्तवर्णाय लम्बोदराय नमः.
मोदहस्ताय रक्तवर्णाय लम्बोदराय नमः.
हस्तिवदनाय
अस्थिवदनाय सूक्ष्मनेत्राय सर्पसूत्राय नमः अस्थिवदनाय सूक्ष्मनेत्राय सर्पसूत्राय नमः बुद्धिप्रदाय सिद्धिनाथाय पाशहस्ताय नमः गं गं गणपति गं गं गणपति गं गणपतये नमः गं गं गणपति गं गं गणपति गं गणपतये नमः गं गं गणपति गं गं गणपति गं गणपतये नमः गं गं गणपति गं गं गणपति गं गणपतये नमः अर्करूपाय नाट्यप्रियाय गौरीसुताय नमः अर्करूपाय नाट्यप्रियाय गौरीसुताय नमः दुर्गाप्रियाय दुरितदूराय दुःखहरणाय नमः प्रथमवन्द्याय पापनाशाय परमात्मने नमः प्रथमवन्द्याय पापनाशाय परमात्मने नमः सकलविद्याय साधुवन्द्याय सच्चिदानन्दाय नमः गं गं गणपति गं गं गणपति गं गणपतये नमः गं गं गणपति गं गं गणपति गं गणपतये नमः गं गं गणपति गं गं गणपति गं गणपतये नमः गं गं गणपति गं गं गणपति गं गणपतये नमः गं गं गणपति गं गं गणपति गं गणपतये नमः गं गं गणपति गं गं गणपति गं गणपतये नमः 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 गं गणपतये नमः
Listeners, on the free app SGS Posts, an app through which Parama Pujya Shri 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 Ganapati Satchidananda Swamiji posts daily short inspirational messages, a recent post said that Guru knows your every thought. Well, he repeatedly shows us this if we simply look for the cues. In the bhajan to which you were just listening, Lord Ganapati is worshipped as Ekadantaya, the single-tusked one. That single tusk carries many lessons, but one significance is particularly relevant to the study of today's Dwadasha Sutra, the fifth sutra through which Mata Jayalakshmi, Pujya Sri Swamiji's mother and guru, instructed him to consider all forms of life as equal, do not discriminate.
The Dwadasha Sutras were not just sutras for Pujya Sri Swamiji, but they are sutras for all of us. We owe such a debt of gratitude to Puja Appaji for sharing his Guru's teachings with us. And, getting back to the point Ravita made about the word Ekadantaya, we see that Puja Appaji uses various means to help us to recall the teachings of Mata Jayalakshmi. The loss of one of the tusks of Lord Ganapati signifies the removal of plurality. It represents non-duality, and it is only the intellect which has freed itself from demonic tendencies which will be able to perceive and experience oneness and non-duality. The left tusk, which signifies ego, is broken. Absence of the tusk on the left signifies giving up the feeling of doership. The remaining tusk signifies the intellect, which denotes the strength of divinity.
So listeners, as you can see, not only are Puja Appaji's bhajans truly Vedanta in the form of song, but they are also reflections of the teachings which he too was taught by his guru. Just to remind you, today the teaching being studied is the fifth of Mata Jayalakshmi's Dwadasha Sutras. That sutra being, consider all forms of life as equal, do not discriminate. Just like Lord Ganapati's broken left tusk symbolizes ridding oneself of ego, may we all be blessed to be rid of ego, rid of feelings of doership, feelings of I, me, mine and me. When we are able to do that, that is when, by the grace of Puja Appaji, we will be able to fully put into practice that fifth sutra of Mata Jayalakshmi. You are tuned in to Datta Arpanam on 103.1 FM. Thank you for sharing your Sunday morning with us. Today's offering is coming to you through the grace of Pujya Sri Swamiji and thanks to the sponsorship by Samtran Insurance Brokers Limited, Debe Supermart Limited, Valini's Drug Mart Limited and Kokie Supermart Limited.
Today's fifth Dwadasha Sutra of Consider all forms of life as equal, do not discriminate, in its original Kannada form translated to all are one, all are the same, all forms of life are equal, hence do not discriminate, distinguish or differentiate. And again, listeners, as we have seen during the study of previous sutras, this was such a profound message for then 9-year-old Sri Swamiji to be receiving from his guru, Mata Jayalakshmi.
This concept of treating all life forms as equal is quite a difficult one to implement in one's life unless you have a role model who actually shows you the way. Appaji has compared traversing the journey of life to climbing the Himalayas. Just as one would not attempt to climb these mountains without a guide, so too Guru acts as the guide for this journey known as life. Apart from using his discourses, his bhajans, his Facebook posts, his tweets and SGS posts to teach and to guide us along the way, Puja Appaji uses his own behavior as quite a powerful teaching tool. All he recognizes are faith and love, and all he wants to inculcate in us are faith and love.
In Shloka 7 of chapter 7 of Srimad Bhagavad Gita, Sri Krishna said to Arjuna, Mattah parataram nanyata kinchidasti dhananjaya Mai sarvamidam protam sutre manigana iva. In this shloka, Sri Krishna said, there is no higher cause than me in this world. Like gems strung on a thread, all things of this world are held together by me. And listeners, so too a large Datta family has been created by Parama Puja Sri Swamiji. This Datta family has been sewn together as a unit, regardless of caste, religion, color, or class. The common thread is simply the greeting, Jai Guru Datta.
Being with Sri Swamiji and serving him are common desires for all devotees. That chain of human love for Sadguru unites us all. We are all bound by that one thought of earning Appaji's grace. An invisible thread of love for him binds us all together, and so, without even our active participation, we have all become equal. We sit together, eat together, laugh together, and live together as a community or as a family, and Puja Appaji presides over all of this. While guiding us through our karmic journeys, does he check the caste, the creed, the gender, or the class? No, he has no time for that. As everyone gathers around him, what he sees is the soul shining through.
Many would have noticed that if Puja Appaji is talking to you, he often seems to be looking beyond you. That is because he is looking at that subtle soul and not at your physical body. He teaches that the life force in all beings is the same, and that a self-realized soul will see themselves in all creatures. So everyone, let us as a single unit join voices in worship. Let us pay tribute to the Devi, the Shakti, the divine energy which permeates us all. Let us worship Mother Goddess. This bhajan, which worships her by many names, reminds us that though we too have many different names, we are all one. Please open the Bhajanmala app once again. This time enter bhajan ID number 2169 and join in worship.
देवी माता पार्वती अन्नपूर्णे माता देवी भिक्षा देहि कृपावलंबन करे माता माता हे माता ओम श्री माता ललितांबा 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 हे माता 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 अम्बा ताये ललितांबा अम्बा ताये ललितांबा हे माता हे माता हे माता हे माता अम्बा ताये ललितांबा अम्बा ताये ललितांबा हे माता ओम श्री माता ललितांबा हे माता ओम श्री माता ललितांबा हे माता कंची कामाक्षी ललितांबा हे माता कंची कामाक्षी ललितांबा ललिताम्बा हे माता मधुरे मीनाक्षी ललिताम्बा हे माता काशी विशालाक्षी ललिताम्बा हे माता काशी विशालाक्षी ललिताम्बा हे माता ज्ञानवल्लभे ललिताम्बा हे माता ज्ञानवल्लभे ललिताम्बा ललिताम्बा हे माता चंडे चामुंडे ललिताम्बा हे माता कनकादुर्गे ललिताम्बा हे माता कनकादुर्गे ललिताम्बा हे माता भक्ते पूर्णे ललिताम्बा हे माता भक्ते पूर्णे ललिताम्बा गौरीश्वरी ललिताम्बा हे माता गज गौरीश्वरी ललिताम्बा हे माता सच्चिदानंदी ललिताम्बा हे माता सच्चिदानंदी ललिताम्बा हे माता सच्चिदानंदिनी ललिताम्बा हे माता सच्चिदानंदिनी ललिताम्बा हे माता ओम श्री माता ललिताम्बा हे माता ओम श्री माता ललिताम्बा 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 हे माता अम्बा ताये ललिताम्बा हे माता अम्बा ताये ललिताम्बा हे माता ललिताम्बा हे माता कंची कामाक्षी ललिताम्बा मधुरे मीनाक्षी ललिताम्बा मधुरे मीनाक्षी ललिताम्बा काशी विशालक्षी ललिताम्बा काशी विशालक्षी ललिताम्बा ज्ञानवल्लभे ललिताम्बा ज्ञानवल्लभे ललिताम्बा अम्बा अम्बा अन्नपूर्णा अम्बा अम्बा अन्नपूर्णा अम्बा अम्बा अन्नपूर्णा अम्बा अम्बा अन्नपूर्णा हे माता कनका दुर्गे ललिताम्बा हे माता कनका दुर्गे ललिताम्बा हे माता सच्चिदानंदे ललिताम्बा हे माता सच्चिदानंदे हे माता जय लक्ष्मी 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 माता हे माता ओम श्री माता ललिताम्बा हे माता ओम श्री माता ललिताम्बा ओम श्री माता ललिताम्बा ओम श्री माता ललिताम्बा ओम श्री माता ललिताम्बा ओम श्री माता ललिताम्बा
The voice to which you were just listening was the voice of a great devotee of Parama Pujya Shri 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 Ganapati Satchidananda Swamiji. That was the voice of the late Swami Manasa Datta, who, though Indian by origin, greatly loved Trinidad and Tobago and its people. His physical presence may no longer be with us, but his love, vitality and dedication towards Pujya Sri Swamiji's mission will always be remembered. You are tuned in to Datta Arpanam, which is coming to you on 103.1 FM through the grace of Pujya Sri Swamiji and thanks to the sponsorship by Samtran Insurance Brokers Limited, Debe Supermart Limited, Valini's Drug Mart Limited and Kokie Supermart Limited. Special thanks go out to them, as they do to you, dear listener, for sharing this Sunday morning Sandhya hour with us.
Today on Datta Arpanam, the journey into the Dwadasha Sutras continues with Sutra number 5. Consider all forms of life as equal. Do not discriminate. This lesson was taught to Pujya Appaji by his mother and guru, and now, through his words and actions, Pujya Appaji is passing on this lesson to us. But we see from the 24 gurus of Lord Dattatreya that it is not only in this incarnation that Sri Swamiji has seen all as equal and has avoided discrimination. Even in his original incarnation as that Holy Trinity, the 5 elements were revered. Lessons were learned from animals. Lessons were learned from what would normally be considered to be the least likely beings to be gurus. The Lord looked beyond the surface and saw the good that each of his 24 gurus had to teach him.
Those 24 gurus of Lord Dattatreya saw the earth, air, sky, water, fire, moon, sun, pigeon, python, ocean, a moth, the honeybee, an elephant, the honey thief, the deer, a fish, a harlot, an osprey, which is a type of bird, a boy, a maiden, an arrow maker, a snake or serpent, a spider, and a caterpillar. All of these on the surface look very different. They feel different to touch. They smell different. They sound different. But each and every one of them had the commonality of being a guru of the Adi Guru himself.
By having such seemingly unlikely gurus, Lord Dattatreya not only taught us that we can learn from everyone and everything, but he also taught us that we should not spend our time looking for differences in God's creation. Instead, we should look for that something which connects us all. That something is none other than the substratum of creation, Paramatma himself. Let us worship that Paramatma now in the form of the Adi Guru, who, out of an abundance of compassion, not only taught us about his 24 gurus, but also blessed us with a Sadguru to remind us and to guide us to implement his teachings. Let us therefore join that Sadguru, join that Avadhuta of Lord Dattatreya as he worships Lord Datta through today's next bhajan. You can find the lyrics to the bhajan by entering bhajan ID number 129 on the Bhajanmala app or on the website www.bhajanmala.com.
This Malayalam bhajan composition of Puja Appaji's says, "Salutations to you, Guru Datta. Victory to you, Guru Datta. Men, angels, and great eminent sages eternally worship you. They are in turn bestowed with fearlessness, success, and everlasting happiness. The sacred water in your water pot or kamandalu symbolizes peace. The japamala in your hands symbolizes deep meditation. The drum or dakka sounds are the world's alphabets. The sharp trident represents the three classes. The conch in your hand reflects wisdom and knowledge. The discus or Sudarshana chakra symbolizes the eternally moving time. The three heads symbolize the 1,000-headed form of the Supreme. Vibhuti is the sign of wisdom. The Tripundra or the three horizontal lines drawn on your forehead is the sign of the three powers. Nectar, Adumbara, righteousness, mother cow or Gomata, and Vedas are the sinless inner lights. Faithful, devout meditation is of great significance and power. They are the only auspicious means of achieving the greatest goal, the only means of realizing Datta.
Vedanta in the form of song. Please everyone, join in worship. Once again, the bhajan ID number is 129.
नमो नमो गुरुदत्ता नमोस्तुते जय दत्ता नमो नमो गुरुदत्ता नमोस्तुते जय दत्ता
नमो नमो गुरुदत्ता नमोस्तुते जय दत्ता
नमो नमो गुरुदत्ता नमोस्तुते जय दत्ता
नमो नमो गुरुदत्ता नमोस्तुते जय दत्ता
नमो नमो गुरुदत्ता नमोस्तुते जय दत्ता
नमो नमो गुरुदत्ता नमोस्तुते जय दत्ता
नमो नमो गुरुदत्ता नमोस्तुते जय दत्ता
नमो नमो गुरुदत्ता नमोस्तुते जय दत्ता
ദിനേ ദിനേ സുരമുനീശ്വരർ സദാ ഭജിച്ചിടുമകം പൊരുൾ ദിനേ ദിനേ സുരമുനീശ്വരർ സദാ ഭജിച്ചിടുമകം പൊരുൾ ജയാഭയ സ്ഥിര സുഖം തരും ഭവാന്റെ പാദം വരം തരും ജയാഭയ സ്ഥിര സുഖം തരും ഭവാന്റെ പാദം വരം തരും
नमो नमो गुरुदत्ता नमोस्तुते जय दत्ता
ജലം നിറഞ്ഞോരു കമണ്ടലു പ്രശാന്തിയേകും പ്രതീകമായി. ജലം നിറഞ്ഞോരു കമണ്ടലു പ്രശാന്തിവേകും പ്രതീകമായി. ജപാക്ഷമാലിക കരത്തിലും തപസ്സിനുള്ളോരു തെളിച്ചമായി. ജപാക്ഷമാലിക കരത്തിലും തപസ്സിനുള്ളോരു തെളിച്ചമായി.
నమో నమో గురుదత్త నమోస్తుతే జయ దత్త నమో నమో గురుదత్త నమోస్తుతే జయ దత్త
കരത്തിൽ ഡമറുക ഡമൽ ഡമൽ അകാരമക്ഷരമനേകമായി. കരത്തിൽ ഡമറുക ഡമൽ ഡമൽ അകാരമക്ഷരമനേകമായി. സുതീഷ്ണമാകും ത്രിശൂലമോ ത്രിവർഗമാതൃകയാകുന്നു. സുതീഷ്ണമാകും ത്രിശൂലമോ ത്രിവർഗമാതൃകയാകുന്നു.
నమో నమో గురుదత్త నమోస్తుతే జయ దత్త నమో నమో గురుదత్త నమోస్తుతే జయ దత్త
വിശുദ്ധ ശംഖോരു കരത്തിലും വിവേക വിദ്യാസ്വരൂപമായി. വിശുദ്ധ ശംഖോരു കരത്തിലും വിവേക വിദ്യാസ്വരൂപമായി. അഹോ സുദർശന സുചക്രവും അനാദികാല പ്രതീകമായി. അഹോ സുദർശന സുചക്രവും അനാദികാല പ്രതീകമായി.
నమో నమో గురుదత్త నమోస్తుతే జయ దత్త నమో నమో గురుదత్త నమోస్తుతే జయ దత్త
ത്രിശീർഷനാകും ത്രിമൂർത്തിനി സഹസ്രശീർഷൻ സകലേശൻ. ത്രിശീർഷനാകും ത്രിമൂർത്തിനി സഹസ്രശീർഷൻ സകലേശൻ. വിഭൂതി അണിയും വിവേകവും ത്രിപുണ്ഡ്രധാരി ത്രിശക്തിയും. വിഭൂതി അണിയും വിവേകവും ത്രിപുണ്ഡ്രധാരി ത്രിശക്തിയും.
నమో నమో గురుదత్త నమోస్తుతే జయ దత్త నమో నమో గురుదత్త నమోస్తుతే జయ దత్త
സുധാസമേതം അത്തിമരം വിശുദ്ധധർമ്മം ഗോമാത. സുധാസമേതം അത്തിമരം വിശുദ്ധധർമ്മം ഗോമാത. വേദങ്ങൾ നാലും സ്വാനന്മാർ അനഘാമ്പ ഉള്ളിൽ ജ്യോതിസായി. വേദങ്ങൾ നാലും സ്വാനന്മാർ അനഘാമ്പ ഉള്ളിൽ ജ്യോതിസായി.
నమో నమో గురుదత్త నమోస్తుతే జయ దత్త నమో నమో గురుదత్త నమోస్తుతే జయ దత్త
ఉపాసనం విధి మహార్థకం शुभैकसाधनपरार्थकम् उपासनं विधिमहार्थकम् शुभैकसाधनपरार्थकम् तत्त्वैकसाधनसमर्थकम् श्रीसच्चिदानन्दतत्त्वार्थकम् तत्त्वैकसाधनसमर्थकम् श्रीसच्चिदानन्दतत्त्वार्थकम्
नमो नमो गुरुदत्ता नमोस्तुते जय दत्ता नमो नमो गुरुदत्ता नमोस्तुते जय दत्ता
A beautiful bhajan for a beautiful Sunday to start a beautiful week. A week when the lunar birthday of Paramapuja Shri 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 Ganapati Satchidananda Swamiji will be celebrated.
Listeners, our scriptures teach us that Lord Yama will not allow any of his soldiers to harm one who fasts on even one Ekadashi. But on Nirjala Ekadashi, the day on which Puja Appaji's lunar birthday is celebrated, this year that will be this coming Tuesday, if one fasts on Nirjala Ekadashi, he or she will reap the benefits of fasting for all Ekadashis of that year.
The ideal Ekadashi fast is, if health permits, refraining from all food and drink and abstaining from sleep. But if that is not possible, then at least stay away from all grains, including wheat or flour, rice, beans, peas, soya, tofu, etc., and at least stay up until midnight.
It is quite a testament to Puja Appaji's greatness that he was not just born on Ekadashi, but he was born on Nirjala Ekadashi. To such a divine one, pranams are offered as we move forward with today's analysis of the fifth of the Dwadasha Sutras of Mata Jayalakshmi. Consider all forms of life as equal. Do not discriminate.
Jayalakshmi Mata lived her life by the sutras which she passed down to her son and sadhaka, Sri Swamiji. A few weeks ago, you learnt of her interactions with the tribal people of Mekadatu. You learnt that she had two gurus who came from very different communities. And you learnt that she interacted without discrimination with people of all different castes in Bomeparti. In addition to all of this, she treated her stepson, Nanjundappa, the first son of Narasimha Shastri, and her own son, Puja Appaji, with equal footing. With such a role model present in his formative years, is it any wonder then that through his own actions, Sri Swamiji is setting an example by which we too can consider all forms as equal and do not discriminate?
People of all races, religions, castes and beliefs are treated equally when they come to Puja Sri Swamiji. The Guinness World Record holding aviary, Shukavana, is Sri Swamiji's own doing. This bird sanctuary houses many endangered birds and it acts as a rehabilitation center for injured birds. It is on the compound of Datta Pitam in Mysuru. And there's also the SGS hospital just next door. There's the Kishkinda Mulika Bonsai Garden just opposite to Shukavana on the ashrama compound. There's the koi fish pond also on the ashrama compound. So whether the life form is bird, animal, fish, human or even plant, dearest Sadgurudeva does not discriminate in the love he shows for all of creation. We too must follow this example. We too must adopt the fifth sutra of Jayalakshmi Mata and consider all forms of life as equal.
Sri Krishna too has spoken of how dear such a person is to him. So again we see how Mata Jayalakshmi's words are words inspired by our scriptures. In Shloka 9 of chapter 6 of Srimad Bhagavad Gita, Sri Krishna said,
Suhrin mitraryudasina madhyasthadvesha bandhushu sadhushvapi cha papeshu samabuddhir vishishyate.
Here, the Lord says that a true yogi does not distinguish between friend, foe, stranger, well-wisher, neutral person, relative, a good person or a bad person. He views them all as equal.
And with the wish that all be blessed with samabuddhi, that feeling that all are equal, we begin to wrap up today's episode of Datta Arpanam.
Pranams and gratitude are offered at the divine feet of beloved Sadgurudeva, Parama Pujya Shri 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 Ganapati Satchidananda Swamiji and Pujya Shri 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 Datta Vijayananda Tirtha Swamiji, without whose teachings, compassion, love, guidance and music, this program would not exist.
Pranams to you, Puja Appaji and Sri Bala Swamiji. Kindly forgive any errors which may have been committed in preparing or in sharing today's episode of Datta Arpanam, and please guide us to avoid such errors in the future.
Special thanks are extended to the staff at 103.1 FM and to the sponsors of Datta Arpanam: Samtran Insurance Brokers Limited, Debe Supermart Limited, Valini's Drug Mart Limited, and Kokie Supermart Limited. And of course, dear listener, an extra special thank you is extended to you for sharing your Sunday morning with us.
Remember, if you would like to listen to today's offering again, the podcast will be uploaded to 103.1 FM's website by tomorrow evening. Simply visit www.103fm.tt, click on podcasts and scroll down to Datta Arpanam. Alternatively, you can also access the link via the Datta Arpanam Facebook page.
Once again, everyone, thank you for tuning in today. You are invited to please tune in to 103.1 FM again next Sunday at 6 a.m. Atlantic Standard Time for another episode of Datta Arpanam, a showcase of the life, music and teachings of His Holiness Parama Pujya Shri 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 Ganapati Satchidananda Swamiji.
Jai Guru Datta.
Shri Guru Datta. Harihi Om Tat Sat.
दिव्यनामकीर्तनम् भक्तिमुक्तिदायकम् शङ्करादिसेव्यमान दिव्यनामकीर्तनम् राम विठ्ठला जय जय राम विठ्ठला
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 राम विठ्ठला सद्गुरु दत्त विठ्ठला राम विठ्ठला सद्गुरु दत्त विठ्ठला राम विठ्ठला जय जय राम विठ्ठला
राम विठ्ठला जय जय राम विठ्ठला
राम विठ्ठला सद्गुरु दत्त विठ्ठला
राम विठ्ठला सद्गुरु दत्त विठ्ठला
राम विठ्ठला हरे कृष्ण विठ्ठला
राम विठ्ठला हरे कृष्ण विठ्ठला
राम विठ्ठला कृष्ण कृष्ण विठ्ठला
राम विठ्ठला कृष्ण कृष्ण विठ्ठला
राम विठ्ठला सद्गुरु दत्त विठ्ठला
राम विठ्ठला सद्गुरु दत्त विठ्ठला
राम विठ्ठला सद्गुरु दत्त विठ्ठला
राम
सद्गुरु दत्ता विठ्ठला
राम विठ्ठला सद्गुरु दत्ता विठ्ठला
पांडुरंगा पंढरीनाथा पांडुरंगा पंढरीनाथा पांडुरंगा पंढरीनाथाय पांडुरंगाय पंढरीनाथाय राम विठ्ठल जय राम विठ्ठल
राम विठ्ठला
राम विठ्ठल जय जय राम विठ्ठल राम विठ्ठल
जय जय राम विठ्ठला
हरे कृष्णा हरे राम राम हरे कृष्णा हरे राम राम विठ्ठल सद्गुरु दत्ता विठ्ठल
राम विठ्ठला सद्गुरु दत्ता विठ्ठला
राम विठ्ठल सद्गुरु दत्ता विठ्ठल
राम विठ्ठला सद्गुरु दत्ता विठ्ठला
हरे राम विठ्ठल हरे राम विठ्ठल
राम विठ्ठला हरे राम विठ्ठला
पांडुरंगा पंढरीनाथा पांडुरंगा पंढरीनाथा हे पांडुरंगा पंढरीनाथा राधा कृष्णा हरे राधा कृष्णा राधा राम विठ्ठल राम विठ्ठल
राम विठ्ठला राम विठ्ठला
हरे राम विठ्ठल राम विठ्ठल
राम विठ्ठला राम विठ्ठला राम विठ्ठला राम विठ्ठला राम विठ्ठला राम विठ्ठला राम विठ्ठला
ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः हरिः ॐ तत्सत्